Call this meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Back. Here. Back here. Carr. Here. Carr. Here. Cantelo-Zylman. Here. Cantelo-Zylman. Here. Slattery. Slattery absent. Clinker. Here. Clinker here. Johnson. Here. Johnson here. Alexander. Here. Alexander here. Bellato. Here. Bellato here. Casidas. Here. Casidas here. Rita.
Here.
Rita here. Donahue. Here. Donahue here. Hawley. Here. Hawley here. Farnwell. Here. Farnwell here. Ringo Hill. Here. Ringo Hill here. 13 present, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. And now we move on to presentation of Journal of Proceedings. I need a motion to approve the City Council minutes for the date of October the 8th, 2019, and for the date of October the 22nd, 2019. Motion by Alderman Farnwell, second by Alderman Meck.
Your Honor, I
Yes.
have one question.
Yes.
I would like one correction probably made in the October 8th minutes.
Okay.
It's on page 8 here of our document. It's noted under closed session, the first comment or note is, it was agreed that all closed session items. Oh, I'm sorry, you know what? I guess it's probably actually, I thought it was more generally stated. No,
Withdraw it?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we got a motion, and we got a second by Mr. Alderman Meck.
Meck.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Meck.
Aye.
Meck. Aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr. Aye. Cantelo-Zylman.
Aye.
Cantelo-Zylman. Aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker. Aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson. Aye. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander. Aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato. Aye. Casidas.
Aye.
Casidas. Aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita. Aye. Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue. Aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley. Aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell. Aye. Ringo Hill.
Aye.
Ringo Hill. Aye. 13 ayes.
Thank you very much. Now we move to public comment again. Anyone? We move to report of city officials, myself, the mayor's office, announcements. Again, I want to, even though it was yesterday, honor and celebrate and congratulate all our veterans, as I had mentioned at the ceremony yesterday at Memorial Park, the past and the present. Something that we should never forget, who've done the ultimate sacrifice, even though that's Memorial Day. Veterans Day is really to acknowledge the veterans who are still alive and who've given, sacrificed not only their time, their talent, and their families to serve this country, to guarantee the rights that we are exercising right now at the City Council. And I want to thank them for that. City Clerk's business?
No business.
Any bids?
One bid, Your Honor. Need a motion to approve the Edison and Francisco Street resurfacing award recommendation to Lindhall Brothers Incorporated in the amount of $188,680.20.
Do you have a motion? By Alderman Clinker, second by Alderman Donahue. Any questions? Go ahead, sir.
Just wanted to make a quick comment. We received 4 bids on this, and this actually came in under the engineer's estimate by, I think, like $12,000. So, and there was some issues before with the subsurface. That's why we talked about this in the summer, and we're just now taking it up now. So these streets will be redone in the upcoming spring.
Thank you very much. Motion, we got a second. Roll call, please.
Meck.
Aye.
Meck. Aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr. Aye. Cantelo-Zylman.
Aye.
Cantelo-Zylman. Aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker. Aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson. Aye. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander. Aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato. Aye. Casidas.
Aye.
Casidas. Aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita. Aye. Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue. Aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley. Aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell. Aye. Ringo Hill.
Aye.
Ringo Hill. Aye. 13 ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Anything else?
That's it.
City Treasurer.
Thank you. I'd like to have a recommendation from the attorney. I have 2 reconciliation statements for bank reconciliation for September 30th, 2019 and October 31st, 2019. We do this individually, or should I do them all at one time?
You can approve them.
Okay. So we'll do both of them at the same time. Need a motion, please?
You got a motion, Danny motion by Alderman Donahue. Do you have a second? By Alderman Hill, Ringo Hill. Any questions? Roll call.
Meck.
Aye.
Meck. Aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Cantelo-Zylman.
Aye.
Cantelo-Zylman, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Johnson.
No.
Johnson, no. Alexander. Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Costas. Costas, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Ringo Hill.
Aye.
Ringo Hill, aye. 12 ayes and 1 no, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
Next on the agenda for me is the accounts transfer from restricted and non-restricted funds. There's one dated for 10/28/2019, and the one that you should have received today for 11/12/2019.
Need a motion?
Need a motion?
Is there a motion by Alderman Donahue, second by Alderman Hawley? Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mack.
Aye.
Mack, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Cantelo-Zylman.
Aye.
Cantelo-Zylman, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Johnson.
No.
Johnson, no. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Costas. Costas, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Ringo Hill.
Aye.
Ringo Hill, aye. 12 ayes and 1 no, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And lastly, I want to inform the council that the levy, I'm just announcing it, the number, it will be going to finance, to the next finance committee, to all the finance, and Mr. Myers will be coming, from what I understand, to the finance committee to address all the concerns of the finance committee and to address any questions on the levy. The total amount is $8,964,296. That's just for announcing purposes. It'll be going out to the finance committee and then whatever the process from that point on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
City Attorney.
Yes, Mayor. There's one item, resolution number 2019-037, a resolution adopting the update of the Cook County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan. In 2014, the County Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management Department prepared a Cook County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan in which the city participated along with another 120 communities or jurisdictions in Cook County. The plan has to be updated every 5 years. This resolution is authorizing the update and the city's participation in the hazard mitigation plan, which enables municipalities through the county to obtain funding for hazard mitigation projects in the event of a natural hazard.
Is there a motion? Or do you have a
Dave, I have a
question?
question, yeah.
Go ahead.
This is in violation of City Council Rule Number 7. There is no city attorney's business. And I'd like to refer this to the Public Health and Safety Committee, please.
Council, go ahead. Any response?
I have no idea what Alderman Donahue is talking about. It's very common in certain circumstances when a resolution or ordinance is proposed through your office for preparation or is proposed by department heads to ask that I present it. If council, are you indicating that you intend to follow the rules to the T? Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
That is your intention?
that's my intention.
That is your expressed intention?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Right, and you will follow them all the way throughout the course of this meeting and every other meeting, correct?
If everyone is too, we're all playing by the same rules.
Very good, very good.
Okay.
So you want this to, go ahead.
If we're done with that, you're done with that, Kevin?
Yeah, my second part was just to have it go to Public Health and Safety, because it hasn't gone to committee yet, so. Thank you.
Alderman, go ahead.
I just have kind of a point of information on the city attorney's report. I note that there's nothing being said about the status of the issue with the Metro South and quorum, and I was wondering if there's anything to report to us in that regard.
First, if I may, if I could ask the fire chief, are you aware of whether this is a time-sensitive issue with respect to the hazard mitigation plan?
I'm not aware of the deadline.
Okay.
I think it's by the end of the year.
Okay. Because the last time I discussed it with you, I was told it had to be presented by November, and so that's why I wanted to be absolutely certain.
I'd have to check. I don't know it off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
Alderman, go ahead.
Yeah, are we
even having public health and safety meetings, reports?
Good question. I know
Yes.
Alderman Clinker is taking the reins of it.
I'll speak real
Go
quick.
ahead.
We had a meeting last month. I do have a report. Our next meeting's for is next Tuesday, I believe. So I do have a report from last month, yes.
We can put it on next.
I can put it on for next Tuesday if you'd
All right.
like.
Is that
That's how
agreeable?
it works.
Put it on the agenda for next Tuesday? All right.
I'm sorry,
Go
I
ahead.
believe Alderman Farrell won't be here.
Yeah, I was just asking if there is an update on the issue of Quorum and the Metro South and the agreement that we were all discussing at one point.
Well, as a matter of fact, Alderman, yes, there is an update. The original proposed agreement, which, as I think you're aware, was time-sensitive, and that provided for the potential for the city to obtain a $2 million payment from Quorum, along with control possibly of the future of how the hospital will be used. That $2 million payment is off the table completely. We discussed, we had myself and Kelly Burke had a conversation with the CEO of Quorum and the individual, John Walsh, who's running and operating the hospital. We had a conversation on Friday. We discussed the city's position with respect to Quorum and Metro South, and we're told that while they would certainly want to still engage the city for cooperation purposes, that their expressed intention to pay the city $2 million, which they expressed back in September, that was off the table. They also informed us that they were informed that People's Choice Hospital, which was supposed to be the Salvation, I guess, they're defunct. They apparently, through their lawyers, asked for a payment of $250,000 or $300,000, which Quorum summarily rejected. There are some interested parties in the facility, but nothing has been presented to Quorum in document form. But to answer your question, the $2 million proposal to the city is no longer available. Likewise, the proposal as it concerned the city being able to have a hands-on participation in the future of the hospital at this point in time, that will not materialize. As I said, these things were time sensitive, and for whatever reason, this council chose not to act.
Well, I gotta say, the city council dithered away $2 million. Nice going. Plus, we don't have control over the property, period. It's theirs now.
Period.
Great, awesome.
Any other questions? We move on to committee reports, Community Development Committee.
Next meeting
I'm sorry,
is Wednesday.
Was that hazard mitigation plan referred to health?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Next meeting is Wednesday, next week, November 20th at 7 p.m. There's going to be a public hearing at 6 p.m. regarding the cannabis. Nothing on the agenda, just a public hearing. So if you want to come to speak for or against, let your friends and neighbors know. 6 o'clock next Wednesday.
Thank you very much. Finance Committee?
Thank you, Your Honor. Finance Committee met last Monday, November the 4th, 2019. Meeting was called to order by Chair Kevin Donahue at 7 p.m. in the East Annex. Roll call was taken. Alderman Donahue, Clinker, and Alexander were in attendance. Absent was Alderman Dexter Johnson and Alderman Fred Bellato. Also in attendance was Executive Assistant to the Mayor, Marisol Barrera, City Treasurer Carmine Bellato, City Engineer Eric Alvarez, Economic Development, Manager Howard Kapari, Ellen Stevo, Carol Green, and Efren Ortiz. Mrs. Carol Green offered public comment to the committee. The committee first took up 2 payrolls, the first for October 18th, 2019, in the amount of $346,697.32. There's a motion to approve made by Alderman Clinker and a second made by Alderman Alexander. Voice vote was taken and the motion passed unanimously. The second payroll was for November the 1st, 2019, and was in the amount of $354,826.85. There's a motion by Alderman Clinker and a second by Alderman Alexander. Voice vote was taken and the motion was approved unanimously. I'd like to make a motion to approve the two payrolls on our agenda, which is item number 2 on the Finance Committee.
We have a motion. Do we have a second by Alderman Carr? Any questions? Roll call.
Mack.
Aye.
Mack, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Cantelo-Zylman.
Aye.
Cantelo-Zylman, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Johnson.
No.
Johnson, no. Alexander. Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Costas. Costas, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Ringo Hill.
Aye.
Ringo Hill, aye. 12 ayes and 1 no, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
The committee then took up accounts payable for the week of 11/13/2019 in the amount of $582,714.35. This is a higher accounts payable due to a $246,855.50 payment to M&J Asphalt Paving Company, Inc. for street resurfacing on Chatham Street. There's also a $42,500 payment to Gallagher Asphalt for street resurfacing on 135th Place. These are both reimbursable items from the TIFs. There's a motion by Alderman Alexander and a second by Alderman Clinker. Voice vote was then taken, and the motion was approved unanimously. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the accounts payable, which is item number 1 under the Finance Committee.
The motion, do we have a second? By Alderman Farnwell. Any questions? Go ahead.
Just one quick point of information, just something I'm not familiar with previously on page 7.
On the accounts payable?
Yeah, I'm sorry, on the accounts payable. Second line down, there's an item to e-Civis for $4,250, and I just don't know what it is, so do you just give me a little information?
You said that's page 7, my page is
It's
wrong.
page 7, yeah, and mine is page 7, second line down. It's e-Civis, $4,250. We looking at the same page?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe this is the grant network access, and from past accounts payable and passings, this is our access to like a grant database of various grants the city can apply for.
All right.
If what from just the top of my head, I 90% certain that's what it is, but is that correct, Randy? It's a grant database?
Help us find grants.
So we've got a motion, we've got a second. Any other questions from the Alderman? Roll call.
Mack.
Aye.
Mack, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Cantelo-Zylman.
Aye.
Cantelo-Zylman, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Johnson.
No.
Johnson, no. Alexander. Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Costas. Costas, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Farnwell.
No.
Farnwell, no. Ringo Hill.
Aye.
Ringo Hill, aye. 11 ayes and 2 noes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. There was further discussion regarding purchasing a Caterpillar 262D skid steer. After much discussion, it was decided that the Public Works Superintendent should return the item back to the seller due to current budget constraints. The motion to return was made by Alderman Clinker and a second made by Alderman Alexander. Voice vote was taken and the motion was approved unanimously. The committee heard a brief discussion regarding work that has been done in the northeast part of Blue Island. It was requested that City Engineer Alvarez bring more information to the next meeting. City Engineer Alvarez then provided the committee with the street resurfacing bid for Edison and Francisco Street, which we just approved earlier in our meeting. The committee heard an item from City Engineer Alvarez regarding payout for the work done 135th Place and the work done on Chatham Street. The committee heard from Howard Capardi regarding a proposed payroll change for the building official. The proposal would have the building official go from an annual salary of $50,000 to $60,000. After much discussion, it was decided that this item should wait to be taken up during the upcoming appropriation process. There's a motion to deny by Alderman Donahue and a second by Alderman Klinker. Voice vote was taken, and the motion to deny was approved unanimously. Mr. Kapari then provided a proposal to purchase a multi-use laptop for the building department. There was much discussion, and it was decided to wait until the next meeting when Mr. Kapari could provide a better update on computer needs in his office. Mr. Kapari had one more item, and that was to authorize repairs to a white Ford Explorer SUV. The SUV has much needed repairs, including a reconditioned computer, reprogrammed software, as well as tire sensors. The amount of the vehicle repairs was $892.86, which is actually more than what Mr. Kapari thinks the vehicle is worth, and he'd never wanted to have the vehicle in the first place. There was a motion to deny repairing the vehicle made by Alderman Klinker and a second made by Alderman Alexander. Voice vote was untaken, and the motion to deny was approved unanimously. The last two items the committee took up were reimbursement grants from the business district. The first was to DMAR's Restaurant. DMAR's recently updated their storefront windows, front door, and installed a new side street awning. Staff recommended that DMAR's be awarded $7,500, which is the cap amount. The amount submitted to the city by DMAR's was $15,285, and a reimbursement of 75% of the total project costs, with $7,500 being the cap. There's a motion made by Alderman Klinker to reimburse the cap amount of $7,500 to DMAR's Restaurant. Second made by Alderman Alexander. Voice vote was taken, and the motion was approved unanimously. The second reimbursement grant was from Renato Delgadillo State Farm for a brand new trash enclosure. Staff recommended that Mr. Delgadillo, the property owner and State Farm agent, should be reimbursed for $1,395. The original amount submitted was $1,860, and a reimbursement of 75% of the total project cost, with the $7,500 cap was calculated. The percentage amount was counted. There was a motion to reimburse $1,395 to Ronaldo Delgadillo State Farm, made by Alderman Alexander, second by Alderman Klinker. Voice vote was taken, and the motion to reimburse was approved unanimously. Motion to adjourn was made at 8:09, and the next Finance Committee meeting will be November 8th, 2019 at 6 p.m. in the East Annex. And I have one more item. It's resolution number 2019-033.
Alderman, before you start, I think you need to hear from our city lawyer regarding this resolution. I need counsel. Go ahead.
Yes, Alderman, just so we're on the same page and we're following both the city council rules, statute in effect, the case law, and the Open Meetings Act, okay? The matter which you've placed on the agenda is not properly posted in violation of the Open Meetings Act because it does not inform the public, one, of the fact that you intend to reconsider the resolution. Two, it does not inform the public of your intention to move to override the decision of the mayor to veto the resolution. In accordance with your own city council rules, which I think you've indicated you expressed an intention to follow to the T, correct? We're okay with that. Rule 15 requires that motions be reduced to writing. Your motion, as I see it, well, I don't see it at all on the agenda. It has not been reduced to writing. That's your rules. That's the same rule that you told me you would adhere to. If I may finish.
Absolutely. Go ahead, please.
It also, the statute, the case law indicates that by parliamentary rules, and I believe we do follow parliamentary rules, and this is the case of Rogers versus the city of Mendota. By parliamentary rules, the proper action to be taken by a legislative body when a measure adopted by it has been returned to it with a veto by the proper authority is to move to reconsider the vote by which the measure was originally adopted. And then if a majority of the legislative body adopt the motion to reconsider, it is then proper to move that the measure be adopted notwithstanding the veto, or that it be passed over the veto. Now, by your own rules, these motions are to be in writing, and by the Open Meetings Act to be included on the agenda. So what I'm advising this city council, in addition to the fact that this resolution is inappropriate because it's not a proper subject for a legislative council, I'm advising the council that it should not act on this, because if it does act on this, it could very well be in violation of the Open Meetings Act, and it clearly is in violation of your own rules of procedure as well as the statute.
So two things. First, just for the record, I did send City Clerk Heuser at, I think it was 3 or 4 in the afternoon, the motions as I requested to be put on.
And I tried to call you back to no avail because this was already on here, and I had no idea.
Sure, and then second, it's well advised, City Attorney, I appreciate that, your recommendation. I believe we have other case law and a different opinion from our legislative attorney who has told me otherwise that we're okay to go ahead with this. So we need 10 votes to override the mayor's veto. I encourage an aye vote, so I make the motion to approve. Thank you.
Your motion is out of order and for the reasons stated.
Sure.
And I
so
also agree, Your
And
Honor.
I make a motion to override the rule of the chair.
You're out of order, sir.
I make a motion to override the rule of the chair.
You're out of order.
That's not out of order. I make a motion to override the rule of the chair.
And I second it. We can do this according to our rules. We can override the ruling of the chair.
Your rules require a motion to be in writing as well. So you can't just enforce your rules willy-nilly as you're attempting to do, and you know that.
Oh, boy.
You have my advice.
And your advice is
You
noted.
have the case law, and I am correct, and you were aware, Alderman, that you were supposed to put the motion in writing, and you did not do it.
I sent it to the clerk.
You did not follow your own rules.
All right, Mr. Attorney, this is the business of the city council. This is not the business of the city attorney. My motion is to override the rule of the chair, and I'd like to take that motion up.
And we have a second on the floor that seconded the motion.
You're still out of order,
It's
sir.
not, I'm still not out of order. Not out of order.
You're not following the rules.
We're not out of order. Motion to override the rule of the chair.
Seconded.
Motion to suspend the city council rules.
Seconded. Motion to silence the city attorney on the chair.
Second.
There's a motion to override your ruling, Mayor. That's,
I don't even know what I'd be calling.
he ruled my motion out of order, and I'm making a motion to override his ruling. And we need 10 votes to override his ruling.
Yes, we need 10 votes to override the ruling.
You're out of order, sir.
I'm not out of order. Mr. Mayor, this is the motions to override your rule.
You need to put by your own rules.
And I just made a motion to suspend our rules. We've done it in the past, Kerry. We have suspended our rules in the past.
For every
The second
single
meeting.
point, we've suspended the rules.
The motion to suspend the rules should have been included on the agenda.
In the
as
rules of
well,
procedure, it says we can
City attorney,
overrule the chair.
notify the council
In the
what would
rules of-
happen if we violate the open.
We're not violating the Open Meetings Act.
picking
We
and
have-
choosing.
we have-
You're picking and choosing, Mayor. You are picking and choosing, Mayor.
Let us do our vote.
There's a motion to override your rule. Please, can you read Robert Rules of Order and what it says to
Inform the council of where they stand.
I've informed the council that their own rules require this motion to be in writing. I informed the council that the Open Meetings Act requires the motion to, at a minimum, the motion to override the meeting to be listed on the agenda.
It is listed on the agenda.
Turn on the mic, please.
Alderman Donahue effectively has acknowledged that he was aware of that fact. The fact he didn't follow through is not anyone's fault but his own. And he has so aptly and eloquently indicated that the rules would be followed, and it was intention to follow the rules to a T throughout this meeting, and now he's attempting to avoid following the rules.
I think we have a mayor that's attempting to hide behind a city attorney guard dog. That's what we have.
You're not even supposed to speak right now.
In our rules, the attorney doesn't speak unless called upon. We all made a motion to overrule
We want
the
an
chair.
investigation with the Tahoes. Why is that so hard?
There's a motion to override this
The mayor
rule.
asked me to give.
Of course he asked you.
Always playing games, I swear.
Of course he asked you.
You know, you can do what you can say what you
I'd like to
want.
call on
The rules always
Matt
get
Ingersoll.
twisted in your favor.
Shut, because I'm going to say something you don't want to hear, or I'm going to tell you you're not following your own rules.
I'd like to call on Matt Ingersoll from Montana Welsh to offer a rebuttal to the guard dog at the city attorney there.
Thank you, members of the council. Respectfully, Mr. Horvath, the Open Meetings Act requires that an item appear on the agenda and that any
Who
action...
prepared it? You prepared it?
I did not prepare
Okay.
the item on the agenda. I believe Clerk Hauser prepared it. But for an action to be taken on an item on an agenda, it just must be germane. So there is not going to be a violation of the Open Meetings Act by acting to or moving to reconsider and override the mayoral veto. With respect to the requirement that motions be in writing, I do believe that Alderman Donahue attempted to reduce it to writing so it would appear on the agenda, but
He did, he failed to do it, correct?
But Alderman Donahue is also
He failed
correct.
to do it, correct?
Alderman Donahue.
You're a
is
guard
correct.
dog was allowed to talk. Please let our attorney talk.
Alderman Donahue
Go
is.
ahead, dog, go ahead, Doug, go ahead.
Oh, my gosh.
No, he's calling him a dog, we got the same thing here.
We let that attorney talk. We let him talk.
Okay,
but you didn't call him in there.
All I was just going to say, Your Honor, was that Alderman Donahue is correct that the rules could be suspended with respect to that this motion wasn't reduced to writing, and it would be fine. It would be a violation of the Open Meetings Act. This is your meeting. These are your rules, and you have the ability to set them aside if you so choose.
Counsel, do you have a copy of what Alderman Donahue supposedly put in writing?
I do not, no.
You do not?
I do not.
I do, and I have a copy of it, and I sent it to Cortez. So I did make effort. The person who sets the agenda did receive it, and I can tell you what time it was sent to him.
I was just asking counsel.
I do not have it. No, I do not.
But he has it on his phone.
No, he answered my question.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, counsel. Go ahead, Alderman.
I just would like to make an observation. We're spending a lot of time on an issue that is simply not important enough.
That is what?
It is not important enough to spend this kind of time. You have two attorneys billing us over this nonsense. As I know,
Two Tahoes that were
I'm speaking. Please, I'll let you speak later. We just learned that the city decided to spend no time, basically, taking a $2 million offer that would have given us $2 million with no strings attached to have 6 months to research and review the issue with the hospital, and would give us the option after that to purchase the property or to have the property conveyed to us with another $3 million. We just passed up potentially $5 million plus. And we're sitting here arguing over this? An investigation where we're going to learn nothing or that we already know? We know things were done wrong. There's no question about that. Nobody's debating that. This is just more political nonsense, a vendetta against a vendetta, lawyers against lawyers, money the city doesn't have. And because incidentally we're...
Let's vote on it.
Fine, let's vote on it.
Let's vote on it. Thank you. Let's vote on it.
Rita, go ahead.
I just was going to say I respectfully disagree with you, Alderman Farnwell. I think that this is ethically and criminally wrong to buy two Tahoes without the knowledge of anyone and get the discount of the city. Could you imagine if my name was on that? Are you kidding me? The whole city council would be in an uproar.
Well, actually...
It's not right, and it's not fair, and I think that there should be an investigation. It is completely immoral. It is wrong. You got a tax break, and there's police sirens. It's all I don't understand where you're coming from. I really don't. You're on the wrong side of this position, and I just don't get it.
In respect to your position...
What if you bought two Tahoes and received all the discount and...
It was. I'm not saying it was right. And I will say in response to your question about what if your name was on this, and your name, I'm not invoking your name, but the Rita name is on a lawsuit that's about to cost us
Oh, here we go
1.2
again, an
$1.2
alleged
million,
lawsuit.
and
I
we're
can
not
bring a
interested-
lawsuit to the courthouse,
We're not
and I
interested in
can list
investigating that.
anything I want on there as long as I have the money to bring the suit.
We're
All you have
settling
to
this
do for
is
a file
reason.
it.
We're settling this for a reason.
And then the attorneys argue it out to see if there's any proof to it. You can bring any kind of lawsuit you want to the courthouse. You can say anything. I could tell you that the sky is blue and that you married your sister. I could say all kind of goofy things, and then it's up to the attorneys to figure it out, as long as you pay the fee to file the lawsuit. So
But the city, in this case, is deciding that there's grounds to settle this lawsuit that we're facing, and we're going to spend $1.2 million plus $1 million in attorney's fees.
And that's why we should also spend money to an
And that's why we should
investigation to
investigate
look into
this
two
matter,
Tahoes that
investigate
were
that
bought
matter.
illegally. on the taxpayer's dime.
The city never bought, no city money was ever used, so you gotta clear that one.
Then let's have the investigation.
Here's the other thing.
What are we afraid of here?
The law firm that's coming in, as I mentioned to you before,
That's not, all right, then we'll let that
I
figure
know
it out
that,
then.
okay?
All right.
25, 30 years.
All right.
Okay.
Mayor, my motion was to override, first was to override your veto.
You're still out of
Second
order.
was to-
Follow the procedures,
The
and it comes
procedures are
back
being
on.
followed, and
All right,
I'm-
it comes
I'm
back
motion to
on.
override.
Okay.
I'm making a motion to rule my order.
All right,
Go ahead,
I'll make a motion to suspend our rules in relation to number 3, resolution number 2019-033, if that simplifies the process for the mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's still out of order.
And I make a motion to override the rule of the chair.
It's not funny, counsel.
I'll second the motion to override the rule of chair.
Override your rule. We have, all we need is 10 votes. If there's
Well, I
10
guess we're gonna
members
stay
vote
here
on
all
it-
night then. Okay.
Mayor, we have,
It's-
we have the 10 votes
Clerk,
to do it. Let us vote on
clerk,
it.
we did follow procedures here. You need to take a roll call.
I'm just sitting here listening to what.
All right.
Oh.
You made a motion, there was a second. We need a roll call.
The motion's to override his ruling.
That's the motion.
That's the motion. He said, my
It's
my
on the
motion was
floor.
out of order, so I'm asking to make his rulings overridden, which we can do. Drop rules of order, and it's in our rules, but we suspended our rules, trying to suspend our rules.
Your motion is not on the agenda.
Are you kidding me?
It's not a question of,
Okay, then what-
your
what-
motion
What is
is
this
not on the
agenda?
Thank you, your advice is noted, and I appreciate it, but let us vote on it. We'll vote on it.
It's on
not
the
up for you to
agenda.
decide. It is not up to you to decide.
He's our city attorney to represent your best
Good, and
interests.
we
You wanna
have
go to
we
jail,
have an
go
attorney
ahead.
who's giving other opinion, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna take his advice. Sometimes you get advice from two different sources, and I'm taking the advice of Ms. Ingersoll.
You're blocking,
I made the motion to override your veto, you ruled it out of order, I made the motion to overrule your ruling, which is that's completely what we're supposed to do. We'll take the roll call on it, and let's get going.
you're blocking an investigation into yourself, which,
Just follow
yes,
the
you
procedures
are.
and it goes on.
We are following procedures on rules and Robert rules.
You ruled my motion out of order.
It's on the floor.
I am making a motion to overrule your motion, which we can do with 2/3 of the city council, which is 10 members of the city council.
there's nothing on the agenda
what is this?
with respect to the motion you have made. You have not followed or adhered to the requirements of the Open Meetings Act, nor have you adhered to the requirements of your own rules. Now, you can't just say, well, I missed the rules, so now I can just say I'm not going to follow them, I'm going to suspend them. That's not the way you proceed. This is a body that's supposed to follow the law.
Okay, and we've suspended the rules before the first meeting we had them, we suspended them without it being on the city council agenda.
Every
We
appointment.
have the precedent of it being done before.
I don't remember ever hearing a motion to suspend.
We did for the library appointment, we did. For Miss Carol Green and Miss Anita Kinney, we suspended the rules several months ago, right after we passed rules of procedure, because we didn't pass it through committee, and we said, it's mayor's appointment, we'll suspend our rules. It's in our, clerk, can you verify we did that?
I do remember that.
Yes.
And it wasn't on, and you were okay with it then, but now because we can't do it?
I'm just telling you what the law says.
And thank you, and I
I'm telling you what
thank
the
you.
law says, and I'm telling you what your rules say, and I'm telling you what you promised the
Well,
rule.
you
You
know
said to me,
You promised.
following the rules to a T. You said it to the public.
Is this a court of law?
Your fellow aldermen.
Yeah, this is not
This
a
is
court
rules of
of law.
procedure, not a court of law.
I get it,
Please,
all right,
now,
I get it.
I'm
But
just-
I'm doing the right thing. The mayor, we're trying to investigate
hold on.
illegal wrongdoing. I get what I said. Sometimes you have to
You
break a
assume
promise. I didn't swear to the
right
Bible,
thing.
I didn't swear an oath. I didn't break the law. I said I was gonna follow the rules, and I broke a promise. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do the right thing. I am on the right side of this.
So you just admitted a liar.
All right.
You
Quit.
assume you're doing the right thing. That's you're entitled to do it. I'm telling you, you are supposed to follow your rules and also the Open Meetings Act.
And we have precedent that we've suspended our rules before, and we have a different opinion that we are not in violation of the Open Meetings Act.
I would like to call our attorney, Matt Ingersoll, back up, because he is an attorney and he can argue with you rather than, I'm not an attorney. I can't argue. I did not go to law school. I'm just an alderman.
Thank you, Alderman. I don't have anything different to add than what I already said. It's your meeting. They're your rules. You are entitled to suspend them. With respect to the Open Meetings Act, all it requires is the topic needs to appear on the agenda and the action needs to be germane to that topic. This council passed this resolution. The mayor vetoed this resolution. It's now appearing back on the agenda. There's really no other action that can be taken other than to override the veto. So, I mean, this is germane to it, and it's not in violation of the Open Meetings Act, in my opinion.
Do you have a copy of the agenda with the motion to override on it?
I have a copy of the same agenda that everyone else has.
You have a copy of the same agenda that everyone else has, right?
Yes.
And as stated, it looks as though that resolution is just like any other resolution or ordinance. Does that agenda that you have inform the public that the city council intends to reconsider and/or override the decision of the mayor?
No, the resolution,
No, it does not, does it?
the resolution says that it is going to adopt a resolution to appoint Sergio Costa, but that the overriding the veto is germane to that resolution.
Does
At
it
this
say
point,
anything about
procedurally,
overriding anything on the copy of the agenda you have?
Council, there's no obligation for it to be that specific.
Does it say it? That there's anything on there?
Can you answer the question?
No,
He asked you a question.
it doesn't, but you don't need to lay out in detail.
Maybe I thought you might have a copy of something that I don't have.
I do not have a copy of this, something you don't have, Mr. Attorney, but the overriding the veto is germane to this resolution. The public was put on notice that action may be taken on it, and I do not believe, you will not be violating the Open Meetings Act by overriding the veto.
Okay, thank you. So we will not
My motion still stands.
Still out of order, sir.
All right, well, then I still make the motion to overrule your ruling.
I'll second the motion. This is our
Roll
rules
call.
and Robert's Rules of Procedure.
Roll call.
Doesn't matter, our rules or Robert's Rules of Procedure. We can overrule the chair.
Go ahead.
So you're violating
We are.
Robert
After
rules and our rules of
You have
procedure.
to let us vote on overruling
You're
the
nodding your
chair.
head in agreement. You're violating Robert's Rules of Order and our own rules of procedure. Both.
How did they just...
And you nod your head.
Because I'm in disgusting with all of you, that's
Oh,
all.
disgusting.
With you.
It doesn't, your objective feelings doesn't change the fact that you're violating the rules.
Are you kidding me?
This has been going on a year.
You know what, Alderman, this investigation with the Cook County State's Attorneys, the FBI, they've been handling this since day one. It's been a year and 4 months practically, okay? So if you want to go spend another $15,000 for the same results,
Absolutely.
oh, absolutely.
Yes, we do.
It's not your money, it's the taxpayers' money,
City
sir.
attorney
He's
legal
not going to be able
bills.
to give you the same.
Let's do 15,000 on this. This is to correct wrongdoing.
There's...
Let us vote. Gary, you know, Mr. City Attorney, there's a motion to overrule his ruling, and he needs to take the roll on it.
Are you going to say that we don't have to do that? We cannot overrule under any rules. Can you say that as city attorney? We have no authority to overrule the chair in any
I
scenario.
didn't say that at all.
Can I ask you
It
that?
seems that way.
He needs to
I
take the
told
roll.
you that you have to follow your rules, and you have not.
Our rules can override the chair.
And our rules could be suspended. There's
To
precedent.
adopt a motion, that motion...
You won't answer the question because you know I'm
I'm
right.
just telling you, you asked me what I said. Your rules say the motion must be in writing. It is not.
It's not the question I asked you, attorney.
The Open Meetings Act says you are to inform...
You're doing what you're good at, attorney. You're good. You're doing what you're good at. I did not ask you about this motion. I asked you about overruling the chair. You're doing what you're good at. Can you answer that question?
You can overrule the chair, but your rules also say to adopt a motion, it must be in writing. I didn't write the rules. Your legislative council
And we tried to
assisted you
suspend
in
the
writing the
rules.
rules.
And I'm trying to suspend the rules,
And
which
we're
we
gonna
can
change
do.
that.
We have precedent. We've done it before without it being on the city council agenda. There is precedent, and you were okay with it then. You can't flip-flop on
You
this.
did right now.
That's fine, but I'm flip-flopping, but that's,
Oh, it's fine
it's
for
the
you to
same
flip-flop.
thing. It's the
You did
same
not
thing.
ask
He's not
me
an
my
attorney.
opinion if
Yeah,
it was
He's not
an attorney.
You have to take the roll.
You're the one denying the vote.
You're denying the vote.
How can you deny us our vote
Voting on this.
when we have something on the floor?
Talk to the mayor. Mayor, you're denying us. Let us vote.
What are you voting on? to override.
We
the
are
mayor's-
trying to move on,
Ruling
Mr.
on
Green.
my resolution being out of order, then we're gonna, after that, we would vote on resolution, item number 3, resolution 2019-033 as the override motion.
And my opinion is that there's not a proper motion on the agenda.
Your opinion is duly noted.
Vote on, and that you have not informed the public of your intention to override. That is my opinion.
Sure, that's your opinion, and Gary, thank you for your opinion. It's not for you to decide, though. So I would like to go ahead with this motion
Alderman
as.
Farnwell, go ahead.
Can I just make a suggestion?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to, why don't we move on here? Come back next week.
No.
We can't, we have to do it, we have to
State
do it today.
statute. No,
This
no,
is
we
the
can't.
state statute.
What's the state statute?
So for the veto has to be done.
The next following meeting of the
Next
veto.
meeting.
Well, then you should have put up a veto
We
resolution.
tried.
You didn't. You
All
didn't.
right,
It's
well,
not
then,
here.
we're
It's not
voting,
here.
we're
There's no
voting on it.
there's no veto resolution.
Let's
That's
vote
not
on the
what you're
resolution. Let's vote on the resolution.
Again, I make a motion to overrule the chair.
We're gonna take up item number 3.
Go.
I understand City Attorney Horvat's advice, but we have different advice from Legislative Counsel. We vote to overrule the ruling on the chair that my motion was out of order, then we make a motion to vote on item number 3.
If we get sued, who's going to pay the bill?
Well, you're gonna be the one suing us, Mayor. You're gonna sue us to stop your own investigation.
Well, there's people
I
out
can't
there
wait
that
to
do
see
it.
the headline for that.
I've never stopped anything. I gave every
You're
information,
stopping
whatever I
it
knew.
right
so-
now.
This is clearly stopping it.
You're blocking this vote.
Let's go.
Let's go. Come on.
I got all
Do
day,
the
I got
roll
all
call.
night. My
All
trial-
right, let's sit here.
What? There is a motion to overrule. You have to. I made the motion to override your ruling.
Yeah. Well, could you?
City
There's a
clerk, you
motion
have to
on
take
the
a roll
floor.
call. City clerk, you
You
have to take a
have
roll
to
call.
take a
It's not
roll.
my meeting. It's not
Mr.
my meeting.
Sorry,
It's the chair.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like Matt Ingersoll to read from about the override the rule of the chair, please, from Robert Rules of Order.
Council's rules?
And the taxpayers pay for all of this crap.
Let us vote.
Yeah.
Let us vote, then we can
I
go
know.
home.
We've been excused by now, home.
Yeah.
House.
Too bad. We're here all night.
You're impeding.
Just to
this.
block your own
Why are
investigation.
you impeding it? Let us vote.
Information's already given to the
Any-
authorities. what they
Oh,
needed to
let
hear.
us vote.
Any member may appeal to the council from a decision of the mayor, and then if the appeal is seconded, the member making the appeal may briefly state the reason, and the mayor may briefly explain any decision, but there shall be no debate on the appeal, and no member shall participate in the discussion. The member's right to appeal is absolute. The appeal shall be an incidental motion and take precedence over any question pending at the time the mayor makes a ruling or the decision from which the appeal is made. The mayor shall then put the question, shall the decision of the chair be sustained? If a majority of the members present vote no, the decision of the mayor shall be overruled, otherwise it shall be sustained.
There we go.
That's overrule, that's override. What you're saying is my original motion or.
And there's no debate, and we got a debate.
I'm here all night.
You have to take it up. Call for a roll call. You're the one blocking this.
I'm not blocking anything.
Yep, you are.
You're breaking the rules. Go ahead, Alderman, go ahead.
I just,
You broke the
question.
rules by 5 times.
Carrie, I'm sorry, attorney, do you have any power to do whatever this resolution is stating?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you have any power for this investigation, for this resolution that's stating? That's my question to you.
Do I have anything, any authority with respect to the resolution itself to do what?
For the investigation of the towers, that's what I'm just asking.
I have none.
Okay. I was just trying to figure out a way to not to spend the $15,000.
It's the chair. It's not my meeting.
So, what?
It's not my meeting.
So you're stuck, you're spending the night.
All right, get comfortable.
It's fine.
Oh, my God.
All we have to do is let us vote. We have the votes. The votes are there to do this. And Carrie, I get it. I understand your advice. Your advice is, I think you're a good attorney. For what it seems, I do like you. I think you're a good person. I really do. I'm not trying to butter you up or anything. I'm just trying to say, we have a different opinion.
We love your tie.
I'm taking his opinion. I'm sorry. I'm going with his opinion. I'm not saying.
It's not even our rules, it's Robert's rules. You
Bad
go over the
person.
chair. It's not even our rules. This is Robert Rules of Order. You can override the chair. This is not even ours. This is just state rules.
We're just overriding the chair.
I have a question, and you may be able to answer this, and you may not. Who legally owns those Tahoes right now?
Who does? I don't know the answer to that. The titles of the Tahoes is in a status. We attempted to get the Secretary of State to assist us, to give us some guidance as to how to correct the title and either have the Secretary of State take action with respect to the individual or individuals who purchased the vehicle, or vehicles, excuse me, or assist us in titling the vehicles. And the Secretary of State didn't assist. Okay, so right now the vehicles are in possession of the towing company that tows vehicles for the city. They've been there for practically, I would say, close to, it'll be a year in January. I don't have the title in front of me as to what it says, but the title does not say the City of Blue Island per se, Alderman, and it says Blue Island Agency or something to that effect. So, do I have an answer to that question specifically? No.
Yes, thank you.
I'd like to make a stab at saving us $15,000. I'll tell you what the report's going to say.
You don't know that. You don't know.
Just give me a second here, and you can decide. Maybe we could save $15,000 here tonight. Wrongdoing was done. This vehicle should never have been purchased in the city's name. There should never have been police tags issued. We don't know who did this. We have our suspicions. We all do. These the state's attorney and the FBI are investigating this matter, and I am sure that if they can prove that a crime was done, they will do so, and the responsible parties will be punished with the appropriate punishment, which is what should happen. In the meantime, we should be conducting the city's business, not wasting our time on this. There are way more important things going on here. I'm ashamed to be sitting up here right now with this going on. And that's what the report, other than the last sentence I just said, that's pretty much what the report's going to say. There's your $15,000. I only charge you $7,500.
That's it. Is it possible we can just take, move this to next week or something so we can get on with business or something? I'm just asking. Well, we're going to be at a standstill, but I got a 5-year-old.
Did you say that the Tahoes were under where they're staying? I kind of missed part of that. Did you say that they are in charge of the Tahoes, the towing company, right now?
I'm told they're in possession of the Tahoes. They're stored there.
They're being stored there, so who would have, like if I wanted to go see them or something, do I get permission from the towing company or?
It's me.
Pardon?
Me.
You?
I have the keys, the titles, and that Tahoes are in storage. I had to move them 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago.
Okay. Thank you.
Does the Cook County State
I didn't know that either.
That you moved them?
Yes.
They do know.
They're just from one storage, from one garage to the next.
Oh.
Alderman, go ahead.
City Attorney, can you answer me a question?
I'll try.
Can a chair of a mayor, city form of government, mayor, alderman, be overruled in any scenario, and by what scenario can they be overruled? Can you answer that question?
Overruled, and you mean the ruling on the chair?
Overrule the ruling of the chair, yes.
Yes, I believe pursuant to the rules of order, they can.
Okay, so in our rules of procedure, we can. Robert's rules of procedure say we can. Why can't we right now? Can you answer that?
I didn't say you couldn't. I
Then
said.
why, wait.
I said.
I understand. No, I'm not coming after you. I'm going to answer your questions.
You know what
Yeah.
I said.
I know what you said.
You're trying to put words
All right.
into my mouth, and I'm not.
I'm
going
trying to
allow
break
you
it
do
down
that.
to one motion at a time, City Attorney, one motion at a time. We're trying just to overrule the chair. I'm not talking about this resolution, I'm not talking about the agenda, I'm not talking about any of this extracurricular stuff. Just to overrule the chair. What's the next step after the motion's made and seconded to overrule the chair? City Attorney.
You're overruling the chair, but you have nothing that you can vote on, and that's why.
I'm just asking to overrule his...
Out of order. There's nothing for you.
Can you answer my question? All right?
I'm just telling you my opinion.
Your opinion. I want your, as a city attorney, that's why I'm addressing you as city attorney.
Okay.
All right? What would be the next step after a motion's made and seconded to overrule the chair? Whose job is it to do the roll call? Is it the mayor's or is it the clerk's? In the mayor, city form of government in the state of Illinois, Cook County.
If there's a proper motion before the council, then the clerk would take the roll call.
Okay.
So there is a
However,
proper
there's
motion.
nothing,
All I asked was to overrule the chair.
There's nothing on the agenda that's properly before you that you can vote on.
All I asked was to overrule the
I didn't make
chair.
the mistake,
Wait.
all right?
I just asked to overrule the chair. I'm not asking for the second part of that, would be passing a new motion.
Well,
They're not intertwined. That's why there's two separate
I
motions.
answered your question.
Yeah.
All right,
So the
and I-
city, you said the city clerk. City clerk, will you take the roll call? We're going to try this again.
Well,
He's
my
bringing up two,
understanding-
the first answer he said would be the city clerk. City clerk, will you take the roll call once motion has been made and seconded to overrule? Huh?
The clerk, this
No,
isn't
he's
the
supposed to
clerk,
take
the
the
chair.
roll call.
No. The city attorney said the clerk would take the roll call.
But who actually facilitates that order? You can't do it, I can't do it.
That's exactly what it is. Motion's made and seconded to overrule the chair, the clerk then will take a roll call. That's what the
It
city
was
attorney
just
just
read.
answered.
It was just
Okay.
read out loud.
So I'm going to try this again. I'm making a motion to overrule the chair. Is there a second?
Yes, I second it.
Is there a roll call?
Still out of order.
You have no part in this anymore. We're overruling the chair. We've taken you out of this.
The rules don't say he has no part in it.
No, it goes straight to clerk. Alderman, I'm not addressing you right now, and I respect your opinion. I'm not addressing you. I'm trying to just get this over with so we're not here all night.
I'm all for that.
Okay? But I'm asking the city attorney's opinion. He's giving me his opinion, his advice as an attorney, which I won't go into Alderman Donahue's. I do think Mr. Horvat's a good attorney. I've made personal references to him many times. But the clerk would take the roll call. And so I'm asking now the clerk to take a roll call to overrule the chair. Okay? That's it right now. Step one.
There's nothing then to vote on.
Let's take the roll to overrule the chair.
If you vote to overrule, then you have nothing to vote on
Voting on item number
because.
three.
Again,
there's
city
nothing on
attorney,
the agenda.
city attorney,
I'm just telling you.
you keep giving us your advice, and I respect it, yes, I do, but it is our meeting. Let us coordinate our meeting. All right?
So may I ask a question then? Okay, so it seems to me that the rules don't say who runs the meeting in place of the mayor.
The city attorney said the clerk would take the roll call. That was his answer.
If
On the motion.
On the motion to overrule.
Motion on the floor.
motion to overrule the chair.
The motion on the floor, Bill.
Yeah, that's all I'm addressing right now.
Right, but there's no one here directing the clerk to do that.
It's the clerk's job, though, in state
It's the clerk's job
statute.
because the
He is
motion's
charged of
on
roll
the
call
floor.
and voting and minutes and yada yada. I was a clerk
Override
myself
the
for
chair.
4 years. All right? So me and Mr. Hauser have attended the same trainings as clerk, and I believe he knows the rules too, and I think he's an effective clerk. He knows he has to take a roll call if a motion's made and seconded to overrule the chair. I think he's waiting for a city attorney to tell me exactly what he just told me. So I'm making a motion to overrule the chair.
Seconded by,
And I second it.
All right, seconded by Alderman Rita. So, clerk, can you do the roll call?
and the motion to override the chair.
On his out of order for number 3 resolution, whatever the hell. We're going to be here all night long. Alderman Donahue, I'll turn over to you because you're going, you know the details. So,
So, to override the chair.
This is
We have to
overrule.
vote to override.
One thing at a time.
we're overruling the chair right now.
Yeah, I mean,
It's interesting that we know there's 10 votes in advance. It's really
you can
interesting.
get two-thirds.
Really
Two-thirds of
interesting.
14.
10 is 2/3, Alderman.
We know that.
10 is 2/3.
If you wanna
right,
do the
roll
whole
call.
thing where I gotta print screenshots of text messages, I'd be happy to do it again.
No, no, you
That
don't
was-
need those. All you have to do is tell them what to do, and they do it. It's simple enough.
So the,
Oh, jump. Let's jump.
It's not.
the motion is to override the chair. Motion by Alderman Bellato, was it?
Yep.
Bellato, yeah, seconded by Alderman Rita, to override the chair. Mack?
That was the,
Aye.
Mack, aye. Carr?
Aye.
Carr, aye. Cantelo-Zylman?
Aye.
Cantelo-Zylman. Clinker?
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Johnson?
No.
Johnson, no. Alexander?
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato?
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Costas?
Aye.
Costas, aye. Rita?
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue?
aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley?
No.
Hawley, no. Farnwell?
No.
Farnwell, no. Ringo Hill?
Aye.
Ringo Hill, aye. 10-3, it passes.
Now I'd like to make my original motion to approve resolution number 2019-033.
I second it.
It's not on the agenda.
It is on
It
the
is
agenda.
on the agenda.
It doesn't matter anyway. The-
Well, may I amend the motion? I'd like to move to amend the motion since it seems to be necessary to conduct this investigation, I'd like to also amend to have a similar investigation undertaken into the parties named into what is now known as Harrow Lawsuit 2, which is about to cost the city $2 million+.
Second. They should pay for it, not the city.
Second.
There's a motion, a second to amend.
Pardon, just to amend.
Who is the second?
Me?
Alderman Hall.
There's a question, Alderman Johnson.
No, sir.
To amend to include the Harrow investigations as spoken before. Mack?
No.
Mack, no. Carr?
No.
Carr, no. Cantelo-Zylman?
No.
Cantelo-Zylman, no. Clinker?
No.
Clinker, no. Johnson?
Yes.
Johnson, aye. Alexander?
No.
Alexander, no. Bellato?
No.
Bellato, no. Costas?
No.
Costas, no. Rita?
No.
Rita, no. Donahue?
No.
Donahue, no. Hawley?
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Farnwell?
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Ringo Hill?
No.
Ringo Hill, no. 3 ayes and 10 noes.
So I'd like to go ahead with my original motion to approve.
What is your original motion?
To approve resolution 2019-033, which is the override of the mayor's veto.
I second the motion.
It's already been done.
Just for the record, there is nothing, just for the record,
Like the
the
$1 million
res,
you don't want to invest in you.
just for the record, there is nothing on the agenda that indicates or states the words override. You have my legal opinion, I'm sticking with my legal opinion. I would hope that when he is informed of his appointment, if you choose to vote on this, as I believe you probably will, that he will delay action until it's determined whether there will be anybody filing an Open Meetings Act violation with respect to the city council. Go ahead. It's a motion to adopt Resolution 2019-33.
Yes, which is the override of the mayor's veto to hire Sergio Costa for the Tahoe investigation. We need 2/3 of a vote again on this, so I encourage an aye vote. Thank you.
Mack?
Aye.
Mack, aye. Carr?
Aye.
Carr, aye. Cantelo-Zylman?
Aye.
Cantelo-Zylman, aye. Clinker?
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Johnson?
No.
Johnson, no. Alexander? Alexander, aye. Bellato?
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Costas? Costas, aye. Rita?
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue?
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley?
No.
Hawley, no. Farnwell?
No.
Farnwell, no. Ringo Hill?
Aye.
Ringo Hill, aye. 10-3, Your Honor.
Thank you much. Public Health and Safety Committee. Anything?
You have a report here. So the Public Health and Safety meeting met on October 15th. This is at 6 p.m. Present were Alderman Carr, Cazares, Farnwell, Hill, and Clinker. Absent were Alderman Johnson, Alderman Slattery. Also present were Chief Arzab from the Police Department, Fire Chief Dan Rita, Sergeant Sepisi from the Police Department, Emily Meyer, Treasurer Bellato, Alan Stevo, the Mayor's Assistant Marisol Barrera, Carol Green, and Arthur Howard. During the public comment section, Emily Meyer spoke out on behalf of the Civil Service Commission, endorsing an upgrade to advanced life support ambulances. Alan Stevo asked the committee to have the City Council bring charges against those officers who have cost the city millions of dollars. He is also asking to have the Civil Service hold hearings regarding these officers. Alderman Clinker advised that the city computers are still down, therefore there would be no formal reports from the department heads. Once the computer system is working, the chiefs will present the reports at a future meeting. The agenda was compiled by the mayor's assistant based on items from the department heads. Under fire department business, Chief Rita verbally reported the truck was out of service still for repairs. They've replaced 3 tires on 1 ambulance. Everything else is in working order. They've had stuff PM'd. He also is waiting for something from the state of Illinois so they can transfer the title of the ambulance that we received from Posen in order to put it in service. The department has been doing school visits for fire prevention, and he will have September and October 2019 reports at the November committee meeting. In regards to the ALS upgrade discussion, Chief Rita is looking for direction on what the city wants to do in regards to upgrading EMS services. He stated it would cost approximately $300,000 to bring our equipment to where it needs to be for ALS service. That's not including school costs and paying personnel to go to school. Chief has spoken to Project Medical Director Dr. Bernie Heiligser about what is needed to begin ALS service in regards to schooling, staffing, etc. The chief projected a total cost of $750,000 to $1 million for time, classes, equipment, upgrades, etc. in order to upgrade to ALS. Chief is currently looking into all funding possibilities, including grants. He realizes it's a great cost, but he recommends we upgrade it as it's the right thing to do for the citizens. There was also a brief discussion regarding possibly taking on Dixmoor Fire Department calls as a way of possible revenue. Treasurer Bellato spoke about the city's financial situation and advised that we need to watch all expenditures. He stated we need to be very conservative financially moving forward. He further stated there might be a need for drastic cuts in the future. Chief was asked to continue looking into the possibilities and report back to the committee. Alderman Farnwell questioned the possibility of becoming a fire protection district. Chief Rita gave a brief overview about regional fire departments. He stated it would be a huge undertaking, but it possibly could be beneficial. Under the 3 new lieutenants, Chief Rita believes there needs to be supervision at both firehouses. He states he understands the financial constraints. He said he needs an extra layer of managerial personnel, especially since he does not have a deputy chief. These lieutenants would help with administrative work and the cost would not be too great. He will be putting this item into the appropriations for next year. Under appropriations, Chief Rita warned of potential large increase in fire department appropriations due to department needs, not wants. He stated he will be only asking for things that the department needs. He wanted to say that they have generated additional funds and this will help it cover additional costs. Alderman Farnwell stated that due to the current situation, we may need to dig a little deeper for the fire department. Alderman Clinker stated he's been asking for a revenue report since May and has not received anything from the finance director. He stated it would help with financial discussions if the alderman knew how much money we were receiving as compared to the original projections. Chief Rita spoke briefly about an intergovernmental agreement between the city and healthcare and family services that would allow us to recoup money from Medicare and Medicaid that are not being paid. Our ambulance billing service projects an additional $100,000 or more could be collected. The chief received this agreement 3 days prior to the meeting. There's paperwork that needs to be filled out. He's going to work on it, bring it, and present it to the council. We'll place this on the agenda for next month's meeting. Under police department business, Chief Arzab brought along Sergeant Sepisi to speak on some items as he has been tasked with some special projects since there is no deputy chief. There will be an active shooter drill at Eisenhower High School on Friday, 10/18 at 9 a.m. Chief reported the department and the high school have done a good job of getting the word out to parents and residents using various social media, signboards, etc. Sergeant Sepisi spoke briefly about the drill and what they hope to accomplish with it. The department plans much more training until the end of the year, including scenario-based training, felony traffic stops, etc. There are 3 recruits in the academy, with all 3 due to graduate before Christmas. 2 officers are currently in field training. Chief reported 4 fleet vehicles were decommissioned during the year as they were not worth repairing. 2 of them went to other departments. She's looking to purchase 1 new car as well as using asset forfeiture money to purchase a new detective unit. Chief reports that Cook County radios are obsolete and that cannot be repaired. She's looking to replace the radios at a cost of approximately $45,000. Sergeant Sepisi stated that this would be for 9 radios and that we've already acquired 21 through the county. The additional 9 would allow the police department to have 1 radio for each officer on duty. The department is working with the county to replace these radios. Alderman Carr advised that the department clear car purchases through the council, since the city would have to purchase a car for every car purchased through asset forfeiture funds. Chief Arzab stated that we need a line item for the matching purchase, but we do not have to use it to purchase vehicles. Under Celebrite, Chief Arzab reported that the department purchased this device to help the department. This device helps the department dump cell phone information. We've been using other departments to help with this before, but we had to purchase it ourselves. They used asset forfeiture money for the purchase of this unit, and we'll use it for maintenance as well. Under PACE schedule and frontline training tracker, Sergeant Sepisi attended a presentation and recommends that we change to this program. It would keep track of all training records from police department, including mandated training. It keeps track of certificates, range dates, equipment, etc. It would also manage patrol scheduling and offer some tools for the city to use on the website for citizens' use. The original cost would be approximately $800 more than we currently use, but future annual costs would be that should be $1,000 more. For future annual costs would be $800 less, and we'd be getting 2 software packages for less than we currently are paying for 1. This would start next year. This will also be put on the agenda for next month's meeting. The vault. Security. Chief Arzab reported that Mr. Thomas, the owner, has approached her about using off-duty officers as security at the vault. She states they have issues filling the security details that they currently have. Mr. Thomas wants the officers to be plainclothes with police radios on. After a brief discussion, it was decided to add this to next month's agenda also. Florence Street petition. Alderman Farnwell presented a petition from residents of Florence Street requesting something be done about speeding on Florence Street. He stated the petition requested speed cameras and other options. Alderman Farnwell would like to look into the bigger picture and address the problem citywide, since other residents have the same issue. He would like to form a task force to research possible solutions. After a discussion on speed bumps, speed cameras, and enforcements, excuse me, it was agreed that Alderman Farnwell, Alderman Kazars, Sergeant Sepisi, and Public Works Director Jim Polstrel form a task force to look into these issues and report back to the committee. Under by email, there was no business. There was no one present to give a report. At the end of the meeting, Carol DePace Green had showed up late, so she was allowed to speak. She spoke about against allowing off-duty officers to work at the vault. She also stated that we need to decrease spending as our revenues are significantly decreased. She is also concerned about Metro South Medical Center closing and the city ending up with nothing. There's a motion to adjourn at 7:05 by Alderman Farnwell, seconded by Alderman Hill. All in favor of motion passed. The meeting closed at 7:05. Our next meeting is next Tuesday, the 19th at 6 p.m. back there.
I have a question for you, Alderman.
Yes.
You've been filling in for Alderman Slattery. Where's Alderman Slattery?
I have no idea.
Because my office has reached out. I know some of her constituents have called my office wanting to know where she's been. She has not responded to my correspondence. I don't know if she's responded to any of the other aldermen. It's becoming a concern, whether her well-being or whether she has an interest in this community. So that needs to be addressed. I'm just letting you know. Municipal Services Committee?
Yes, Your Honor. Minutes from the meeting of October the 8th. Present were Jim Polstrel, Betty Harmeyer, Eric Alvarez, Alderman Mick, Alderman Farnwell, and Alderman Carr. Present as guests were residents Carol DePace Green, Nancy Thompson, and Treasurer Bellato. Absent were Ted Ruthenberg, Bob Jackson, Mike Marzell, Alderman Slattery, and Alderman Rita. The meeting was called to order at 6:01. Under citizens' concerns, Carol DePace Green and Nancy Thompson expressed their concerns about the rain gardens in the 5th Ward and the repaving project that they felt was not done to the specifications in the contracts. They said the sewer grates are concreted in or paved over and that the wrong materials were used. Eric Alvarez explained the 3 separate projects that took place in the area and assured Ms. Green and Ms. Thompson that the proper materials had been used and that the contracts had been executed as specified. He also said that relief sewers and detention ponds are part of the long-term plan. He then suggested that Robinson Engineering contact the MWRD about replacing the rain gardens with a sod replacement. Jim Polstrel said that he would have Public Works inspect the sewer grates since residents may have blocked the grates in attempt to alleviate flooding on their blocks. Under Public Works, Jim Postro presented his report. There was a motion by Alderman Farnwell, second by Alderman Meck to approve the handicap parking at 2322 Collins. All in favor, motion carried. Under the Water Department, Betty Harmeyer gave her report. Jim Postro suggested an amendment to the water billing ordinance for single-family residences. The fire code requires a 1.5-inch meter pipe for new construction and reconstruction of single-family residences to allow for fire suppression sprinkling systems. The current billing ordinance requires a 10,000-gallon minimum bill for a 1.5-inch meter, as opposed to the 2,000-gallon minimum for a 3/4-inch meter pipe, which the older homes have. This was referred to the Judiciary Committee. Under the John D. Rita Recreation Center, Bob Jackson was absent but requested approval for the Eisenhower High School boys basketball team to use the gym at the John D. Rita Rec Center on Mondays and Thursdays, starting November 18th. This was approved. Under the golf course, Ted Ruthenberg was absent. There was no report. Under Robinson Engineering, Eric Alvarez gave an update on ongoing projects. There was a motion to adjourn by Alderman Meck, second by Alderman Farnwell. Motion carried. Meeting was adjourned at 6:55. We did have a meeting tonight. I don't have those minutes ready. Our next meeting will be held December the 10th at 6 p.m. here in the East Annex. I do have 4 ordinances. Ordinance number 2019-050 and ordinance number 2019-051. Ordinances restricting portions of certain streets for handicap parking only at or near 2322 Collins Street and 2451 Collins Street within the city of Blue Island, county of Cook, and state of Illinois, and providing penalties for the violation thereof. I'd like to put that in form of a motion.
Got a motion. Do I have a second by Alderman Hawley? Any questions? Roll call, please.
Meck.
Aye.
Meck, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Cantelo-Zylman.
Aye.
Cantelo-Zylman, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Johnson. Johnson stepped out. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Costas.
Aye.
Costas, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Ringo Hill.
Aye.
Ringo Hill, aye. 12 ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
Ordinance number 2019-052, an ordinance rescinding handicap parking restrictions at 12827 Division Street in the city of Blue Island, county of Cook, and state of Illinois. I'd like to put this in form of a motion.
Got a motion, second by Alderman Donahue. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Meck.
Aye.
Meck, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Cantelo-Zylman.
Aye.
Cantelo-Zylman, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Costas.
Aye.
Costas, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Ringo Hill.
Aye.
Ringo Hill, aye. 12 ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And lastly, ordinance number 2019-053, an ordinance of the city of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, establishing residential permit parking of motor vehicles on the south side of Canal Street between its intersection with Hoyne to the east and Chicago Street to the west in the city of Blue Island, and providing penalties for the violation thereof. I'd like to put that in the form of a motion.
Motion, second, Bellato. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Meck.
Excuse me, aye.
Meck, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Cantelo-Zylman.
Aye.
Cantelo-Zylman, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Costas.
Aye.
Costas, aye. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Ringo Hill.
Aye.
Ringo Hill, aye. 12 ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anything else? Alderman, anything else?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's all. Our next meeting is December the 10th.
Thank you very much. Judiciary Committee?
So our November meeting will be November 19th at 7 p.m. in East Annex.
Thank you very much. Any aldermanic announcements or comments? Go ahead, Alderman.
Thank you, Mayor. St. Donatus had the first time in 15 years a Pizzarama. We sold out within a few hours of 350 pizzas, over $7,000 for the
Awesome.
church. And we're planning to do another one very soon. I know I saw most of you down there, along with 350 at least of people waiting patiently for their pre-orders of pizzas, and we had to stop selling them a couple hours into the event. So it was a great event, so it means we're going to do it again. It's a lot of work and dedication from our pizza crew down there. It's only a fraction of the crew I use during the carnival, but we're going to have one probably February or March, so keep an eye out for the date. Thank you.
Alderman, go ahead. That truly is awesome.
It's awesome.
And if you could spare a few more nickels, the tree canopy campaign was successful this year with an extra 10 trees thrown at the end. We, in the past 2 years, planted 198 trees, too short of our goal. There will be a fundraiser for the tree canopy campaign. Very generously, City Limits has offered to sponsor one on Old Western Avenue, as we know, from 6 to 10 p.m. on next, one second, the 22nd, yeah, I think Thursday. Bear with me 1 second here.
22nd Friday.
No, that's the 20th. The 21st. No, I'm sorry, no, it's Friday the 22nd. Yes, it's Friday the 22nd, 6 o'clock at City Limits.
Thank you very much. Any other, Alderman? Go ahead, Alderman.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to echo what you said earlier and wish all our veterans and everyone who served a happy Veterans Day a day late. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question, I guess. I don't know if it should have been during mayor's business or not, but do we have plans to replace the finance director now that he's gone?
Yes.
Okay, because I looked at the website, there's nothing posted. I'm just,
Our city treasurer, our CPA person, a handful of us have gotten together. It should be posting very soon.
okay,
With stringent requirements.
okay.
And we'd be more than happy to send a copy to all the aldermen so you can review it. But that will be coming out very shortly.
Okay. Could I ask that one of the things that when you interview, that you make sure that they're responsive to the city council? I asked Mr. Marzell since May 14 different times. I went back and counted up between emails, texts, voicemails, talking to him in person for a revenue report, and I never got anything from the man.
Well,
At one
fine.
time, he told me 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, he said, no, I don't have it. 2 weeks after that, he told me 3 weeks. 3 weeks later, he didn't have it. It's just, we're finally getting some stuff from the treasurer, and I know from Dave Meyer is coming up with some stuff and entering things. But it's really, really difficult to make any financial decisions whatsoever if you don't know how much money you're bringing in compared to what we're projected we were going to bring in. So
Well, now
that's
I
my
guess
question.
I'm in the thing because now you can have to come to me and I'll get you the information.
Okay, well, that's fine. I just, like I said, but when you do interview or whatever is going to happen, if we could like stress that that kind of needs to be
That's fine.
kind of important. I mean, Mr. Marzell, at the end there was like 6 or 7 meetings in a row between finance and council meetings he didn't even show up at.
Got it.
So, thank you.
Go ahead, Alderman.
Yes, I agree with Alderman Clinker. He did not come to our municipal services meetings, nor the judiciary, well, municipal towards the end, and then judiciary, and nor did I get any responses as to where we were financially with the city in terms of the revenue versus expenditures, just as Alderman Clinker just said. So it really is important that we get this information because it is difficult to make these decisions and these votes when we do not know where we are.
So noted. Anything else?
Also, I'd like to compliment Public Works. They did a great job with the snowing and the salt today and Halloween.
We still have to tweak it a bit. I guess the bridge at 127, we've had issues there. The bridge at Western Avenue had issues there, and some other streets. So we're still not at 100%. Go ahead.
I just wanted, and Jim maybe can explain it, because I am sure all the aldermen read it. They don't salt the streets. What's the temperature usually where salt stops working? Is it like 15 degrees or something like that?
Well, it varies. They
Yeah.
say 25 degrees.
Yeah.
That's very less effective, but, it depends on so much. It's on pavement temperature.
The sunlight and, yeah.
Sun was our blessing today with the salt. We had salt, some of the side streets there, and when the salt and traffic started hitting it, it has more of an effect.
I just want to make clear that, in case anybody in the council didn't know, that salt stops working at a certain temperature, especially if it's single digits. It's like throwing nothing. It's going to throw it on glass.
But,
So,
but
yeah.
Like last night, it froze, and
Yeah.
it melted and refroze in some spots.
And I just want to inform the aldermen so you don't get surprised. I will be riding shotgun again this year, as I have many years when the snowstorms, with the snowplows. I've done it before, and I will continue doing it all hours. So again, to get the first-hand account. Alderman, go ahead.
A question for Jim. Jim, do you guys have those road sensors, temperature sensors on the trucks?
No.
And that's something that I think we need to try to get into because whether the temperature is freezing or not, it depends on the ambient temperature in the ground as well as the dew point for the salt to work or not work or the roads to ice up. And they don't have no way to know that if they don't have those sensors on that concrete on the truck.
All right, duly noted. Any other comments from the Alderman? Because we still got to go into executive session, correct, Counsel? Yes. Yes. Anybody else? If not, I need a motion to go into executive session for pending litigation, setting of a price for sale or lease of property. Motion by Alderman Donahue, second by Alderman Clinker. All in favor? Aye. For the ones from Eisenhower or the schools, if they need my signature or need our signatures, come up right now because or else we don't know how long it's going to take. Motion to reconvene the regular session by Alderman Clinker, second by Alderman Cantelo-Zylman. All in favor?
Aye.
Same 13 Alderman.
13 present.
Nice.
Okay, in closed session, we discussed very briefly the sale of 13737 Southwestern Avenue. However, no final action was taken this evening because we have yet to receive a signed written contract from the purchaser. The city council did discuss establishing a sales price, which it will firm up if and when the contract is presented. We discussed briefly the status of the settlement in Harrow versus the city of Blue Island. And then as a third matter, it was just a question asked concerning the status of the negotiations with AFSCME. And I informed the city council that as of today, I had not heard anything since the last time we met. But I told them that I would send out a missive to ask me to find out if they'd like to sit down and work this out.
Thank you very much, Council. I need a motion for adjournment. Motion by Alderman Rita, second by Alderman Johnson. All in favor? Aye. Have a good one. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Nice chatting.